Everybody, it's Anand Soul. It's basically getting on YouTube, making a video. Just want to cover the introduction to Shib with Hat again for all the new joiners, and also prospective new joiners. I also want to go through a PSA of some critical information that just came out to protect your wallet. And I also want to cover why I think Shib decks will be huge. I see a lot of new users joining the Telegram, inquiring like, "Hey, does Solana really need another DEX, or do you think it's going to be big?" And there's like a lot of conversation and back and forth happening. And I think I want to chime in on that conversation. And then also want to discuss like the strategy of the team and obviously discuss the price action as well as how that correlated to uh, the pinned messages by the team in the Telegram. And then finally, I want to go out with the convictions. So I just want to make a statement to say this is not financial advice. This is just my convictions in a particular project that I'm really passionate about. So let's run through it and let's take a look. So for all the new joiners, new holders, this is the introduction to Ship with Hat. It's a token on Solana, and if you scroll down, currently it's listed on Bitmart. We can get the contract from CoinGecko and also CoinMarketCap. CoinGecko I prefer because I like how they manage their portfolio. I just really dig it. Sorry. Um, so it's listed on Bitmart, which is a SEX, and Radium as well. Contracts right here. We are a meme coin with a utility, so we're actually between two different ecosystem. Most meme coins, the utility is the community, and that's great. That's awesome. In this particular project, it's a bit different. The community is still the utility, but it also has a tangible utility, which is the SHIB DEX, SHIB swap that's coming out, or SHIB DEX. Now, excuse me, this is exciting news. This is extremely bullish because we all see the issues with Radium. Like as of today, there's people that have to use bonk bots in order to make a transaction on Radium on a high frequent or high volume token that they really want to get in at a particular price. So this is just going to contribute to the Solana ecosystem and make it a bit better to have something of this magnitude on scale. You know, working. I would say competing with the market share between Juniper and Radium Ship Swap. So very bullish. We also have NFTs. Just want to touch base on the NFTs. Definitely want to get your NFT here. Take a look. Decline. There is 386 NFTs that have been minted out of 1,000. These NFTs are extremely bullish because the person that owns one of these NFTs, they basically will have two things. One, they'll be invited to a very private group to have a conversation, a chat, so very exclusive. Two, the people that possess these NFTs will have a voided transaction for any buys and sells on the Shiba DEX, so or Shiba Swap. So if you go here and I look here, and if you have one of these NFTs in your wallet and you make a transaction on the Shiba DEX or Shiba Swap, that name hasn't really been fleshed out, but whatever that has been decided, long story short, you'd be able to have no transaction fees at all on buys and sells. So these are extremely bullish and extremely going to be, in my opinion, I think they're going to be extremely valuable because I look at it from the perspective of who would seek these. These are people going to make high volume trades, people who own MEV bots, people who operate bots on Solana, and they want to buy something on Radium and they want to sell it with maximum profit. They could do it on ShipDex if they have one of these particular um, NFTs. So extremely valuable, I think, in my opinion. But that's it's actually interesting to see how these two things interact, and I think that's very like interesting to me. So this is very bullish, And this is kind of what the utility is that, within our community that we're all waiting for the catalyst of all catalysts for ship with hat community. It would be the ship swap, ship decks, whatever that's being built or completed. So that's pretty much it. We also have an Instagram effect as well. So this is extremely bullish too, where like the team was able to get this onboarded to Meta, who was the parent company for Instagram, and they were able to get this particular ship with hat effect onboarded. So now, if you're using Instagram, you can actually go on the app, and it will let you use one of the effects. Ship with hat, you can search for it, and you'd be able to just pan your camera over, and then it applies the pig hat with the logo onto almost every single thing with a face. It's actually pretty cool. I actually used it with Elon. I think I have if I go here, then where is it? Where is it? I don't have it on my phone, so I'll probably have to look for it. But yeah, definitely very bullish. And this is very unique. I've never seen any other community or any other team have such a unique effect. So this is actually pretty cool. So just going to the website again for everybody here. Yep, how to buy, quick start guide, roadmap, you know, zero taxes. Extremely bullish on that. So yeah, this is pretty much the project. Oh, some stuff is added here to looks like the Instagram and the SHIB ecosystem, Telegram. Nice. So that's our Telegram here. So it looks like more and more stuff is going to be added. Let's see, cancel, okay. So this is extremely bullish. This is an introduction for all the new holders who are joining what the actual catalyst is, and it's the deployment of this ShibaDex, ShibaSwap. I also want to now cover the actual PSA. So public service announcement to all Solana holders, not just Shib with Hat, but all holders. We definitely want to talk about this. Solana users urged to revoke ACK permissions amid massive drain attack. So there's like some type of attack going on that's tied to meme coins, and developers are urging like the larger assets to be revoked. You guys can check on this. A lot going on in this thing here. But long story short, it looks like there's some type of attack that's going on with app permissions, where users are able to interface their wallet into Web3 applications, and it can drain your wallet. So with that being said, it's it looks like this is BonkBot, only impacted BonkBot, but this could be widespread. It could not be. So I took extra precaution in my situation. What I did was I created another wallet. This wallet has never connected to any Web3 application. So I never. What I mean by that is if you actually go to a website like OpenSeas or whatever it is, and you connect your wallet, it'll say auto connect, and then it'll also say like give it the permissions or whatever it is. Well, if these things are enabled, you're not paying attention, you enable these things, and then you leave that website, you're still technically connected or interfaced. So think of it like an analogy would be you go to an ATM, you put your ATM card into the ATM, it dispenses the cash that you need, and you walk away with leaving your ATM card in that wallet, in that ATM machine. So in this instance, you want to disconnect or eject your card from that. So, good example, another analogy of that is like if you take your credit card and then you go to the gas station and you use your credit card to purchase gas, and you leave your card in there, right? So what I did was that's definitely bad. So I'm not sure if it's widespread or not, or if it's an isolated incident with a bonk bot. The more I thought about it, so what I did was my strategy is to have a wallet that's going to hold all my long-term holds, all my all of it. I'm not like you know I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I have it distributed, but at the moment, I put all my long-term holds in that wallet that's not connected to anything, and then have like I don't know, probably like 2 or 3 Solana, and with all my short term holds within my primary wallet. That's the wallet that's going to be connected to Radium. That's going to be the wallet that's going to have people randomly airdropping me and stuff like that. So those are the wallets that, I'm using right now. And then when I make a purchase, I have a long-term hold. Shit with hat is a long-term hold. I'll send it over to like a wallet that I never touched or never interfaced with or interacted with a Web3 app before, just to prevent that. Just have that layer of separation. I think it's a good strategy. Now it could be wrong, it could be mistaken or misguided, but definitely try to find a strategy that best works for you. I think this works for me, so that's what I've been doing. And this is extremely kind of scary, so just want to put that out for the community. It's kind of bad. Uh, so why should we? Okay, so the next thing I want to cover is Uniswap. This is big. This is super big because this is what people are saying. Like, hey, the SHIB DEX is not really going to be big on Solana or not. So I want to cover this and explain why I think this is and why they're wrong and why it is. If you look at December 1st, so this right here is Uniswap. Uniswap is one of the biggest DEX on Ethereum. So if you look at this right now, I'm looking at monthly, and I highlighted the highest one, which is 46.95 billion volume, trading volume, between December 1st and January 1st. So I'm reading that right. And maybe that's like the average for the month. And that's of 2022. So, okay. Now, if I look at December of last year's December, it's 14 billion. So we here, it's 46 billion at December 2022. December 2023, we're at 14 billion, a little under. March is a bull market. November was a bull market. If we look at this cycle, we could see the volume for Uniswap compared from this December to this December, and this is a December going into a bull market, significantly down. And that's kind of not good, right? Like, that's kind of bad for Uniswap, right? Like, why is the volume down? Why is the volume down? If you look at March, even if you look at March of last year, which is 31 billion, 27 billion, which is close, but they're not hitting those same numbers that they once were. This is the bull market. This to me implies that, look, that the volume is down, like on the Ethereum. This is the biggest DEX on Ethereum. And the way I look at this is I'm seeing that there's a significant trend downwards. They're not hitting the numbers or all-time numbers. They're not exceeding those numbers. So if there's no they're not exceeding it, that means they're not growing. And also, I would make the argument to say they're not meeting those numbers. They're just slightly below. So there's definitely volume missing. There's definitely, um, if there's volume missing, that means that they're not. There's less profit. So they're not growing. They're not being consistent. They're below consistency. So where's that volume going, right? I think that volume is going to Solana, and you know, there's multiple, what they call it again, news articles that corroborated that. In my first video, I cover that. I'm not going to do that again because that'll be kind of like a repeat. But that volume has effectively moved over to Solana. Now, I could kind of prove that in a very nice way. If I look at the Telegram here and you look at the Soul Trended Telegram is at 112,000 users. When I first started on Solana, I came from ETH and I joined Solana. I basically got into Solana, meme coin hype, like about around December. And when I got it on December, like I'll be honest, it only had 60,000 people in this Telegram, Soul Trended. It has effectively double the amount of people. Now, this is to me a good test because if these are only the people that made their way to Soul Trended that realize there's a Soul Trended, hardcore degens. There's way more people trading on the Solana network that don't even know this TG exists. So this to me it shows me that there's a lot of growth. And it's a good indicator or performance indicator of Solana's network growth. This is why I think building a ship DEX on the Solana ecosystem is extremely worthwhile and extremely important. Like I don't see any like it doesn't make sense. Any argument to the contrary doesn't really make much sense, right? At least in my opinion. But um, this is why I'm so bullish on the ship swap and ship with hat. Um, Also, I want to cover the strategy of the team. So I think like overall, the strategy of the team is very straightforward. Build the grassroots community. That's what phase we're in now. Provide that community with incentives like ship with hat effects on Instagram to make it go viral. So try to build a grassroots community, and then we're given the tools to go viral. At the same time, the team's working in tandem to make their token ship with hat accessible on almost every single DEX, every single sex. Just recently, we got onboarded to Trust Wallet. I covered the KYC in the second video, the third video I made. So extremely bullish on that. Um, and I think it's important because you can't have mass marketing without you're making your coin accessible in other on all markets, right? That's like McDonald's coming out with a new sandwich, call it the Mick Amazing, right? And you go to McDonald's like near you, and like, hey, can I try the Mick Amazing? Oh, I'm sorry, that's only at the McDonald's in Berlin. Okay, so they're doing a massive advertising for something that creates a demand, but there's no way for people to actually purchase that particular product or engage in that particular product or make that product accessible. That's a waste of marketing at that point because you're going to create the inverse effect where people is not going to want your coin. It's kind of like Apple. Apple had that original thing. I forgot what it was, the Apple glasses or something like that, and so many people wanted it at first, and then you know I think it was like one guy was like, "Well, if I can't get it, this is trash," and he started trashing it, and then everybody else started agreeing with that one guy, saying the Apple the first version of their goggles was trash, mainly because they only made a limited amount for a small group of people, basically shaming the group of people, for having it. So if the demand exists and you make it accessible, it'll be like the right thing to do because you're gonna see price action movement. If you spend money in marketing and your token's not accessible, that's not a smart move. That's extremely stupid. So I think the team was operating under a very specific strategy, which is grassroots influencers to keep the grassroots people engaged. As we said in Telegram, we see people as influencers reach out to us at different parts of the different time of the day to basically interface with us, right? So you want to have your grassroots, you want to have your influencers, you want to provide them with the tools, which is this particular Instagram effect. Um, you have the people going out there raiding, trying to expand the community base. And then finally, when the community grows significant enough and the grassroots has been stabilized, and we all see the vision, which is the ship swap, it is at that point where, and our tokens have been accessible, listed on almost every platform around the world, and with all the people that have the ability to do KYC and everything else. As the ship decks come out, then you're going to have your marketing because that product is ready. This is like the way it should be launched. It's in a sequence of orders. It's like demolition of building, right? You want to take the top, bottom, all that in a sequence. So very important strategy. I think the strategy is brilliant, and I think that's what the strategy is. To be quite honest, it needs to be developed in the roadmap for sure. The team definitely needs, if I have some criticism, the team definitely needs to outline the roadmap and build it up a little bit. I think that needs to be important, you know. So I think we're at phase two, but yeah, I do think the roadmap needs to be matured a little bit more. Finally, let's talk about the pin message in the chat today. Very very bullish. There's two ways to look at it, but it's very bullish in my opinion. So this is the message that um you know actually I want to cover this. This is fucking cool. So shout out to Bag Advance. My boy got the fucking shib with hat jacket with the matching hat. My boys, yeah, this is. I really want one, bro. I really want one. It's so clutch. My, yeah, this is so bullish. This is how you know you're in the right community. When shit you see shit like this, this is when you know, like, yeah, yeah, I'm in the right community. Excuse me. Gotta drink my water. So very bullish, very cool. Definitely want one. Fucking love this. I want one. So the second pin message, right? So, you know, we have so we definitely know that, look, I just want to say this. Uh some people people have the right to do what they please. And there's a lot of people out there who's extremely ambitious and they have purpose and they're gonna go out there and do what they want to do and do that. And I think it's it sucks from a community perspective because it kind of hurts, but at the same time, we have to understand that that's a decision that somebody made, and it's all love, because that person's, regardless of what, is still part of our community. We're still gonna love that person regardless of what. That's part of life. People come and go, and I think it speaks to testaments of being forgiven. Like, hey, he's that person's within our community. That person was a trusted person within the community, decided to have a side venture or a side project, and really the team wanted to distance themselves from that particular individual and that project. The reason why is extremely bullish, I think. I think it's bullish. I think it's extremely bullish. I think it's extremely bullish that the team came out with this disclaimer because it implies that the team cares about their reputation and brand. That they don't have control over that project, and because they have no oversight or control and they're completely separate, they're like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen with that particular project, but I don't want any association with it. Not because we don't know what we want it to bad or good or whatever it is. It's just that we can't afford the damage to our reputation or brand if it were to go south, and that's not a risk that they're willing to take. This is extremely bullish because, number one, like if you look at the Telegram, Ragnar, Wolf, ESBL, these guys are part of the core team with Yanko, and they're extremely moderate of the like they're extremely visible in the chat. They actually read almost every single message. They just don't react or interact. And that's actually extremely bullish. Number one, I didn't even know that. Number two, which is pretty cool, is the fact that they're trying to create separation and distance, and in turn to protect their brand and to protect the community and protect their token. And I think that's extremely bullish because you don't if you have harm or ill intent, you wouldn't care, right? They wouldn't care about if a mod did something else or not. I think what what happened with uh that person who was a mod and decided to have his own side hustle and moved on to something else, I think that is the most bullish thing for the community for Ship with Hat. If I have to look at from an optimistic perspective, because it basically recreated a new conviction for me to see this message for the team to come out and say, "Hey, look, we want to distance ourselves to protect our particular brand, our community, and our investments in this particular project." That to me is extremely bullish because that implies that they care. They really do care about this project. This is not like something they don't care about. This is something that they do care about. And in this particular uh, conversation that people were having with the mods and the core team, they basically came to a nice, well-meaning purpose that the team definitely is trying to push out big wallet holders because of what they believe to be a group of people, you know, who had privileged access in the community. and they believe that it was kind of like, I don't want to use the word, kind of inappropriate in that term, right? Like loosely, that those group of people started their own project. So what they're trying to do is like kind of push people out. And really, also, I think that what they're also trying to do is trying to acquire more tokens for themselves as well. They're trying to buy more tokens as well because Dog with Hat did that. They pushed the price down completely, sniped half the load, and then burnt a good percentage, sending that coin to the moon. So I think that this is actually a good thing. You know, you have to be optimistic in these weird times. And given what happened and how it transpired, and it was so public, you know, I think that you know, it's very it looks very you know, it's crypto, right? So there's always going to be some drama. But I think that in the long run, I think that to be an optimist, like I look at it from that perspective, for the team to take such a bullish perspective and to go out there and be like, hey, look, you know, we want to distance ourselves from this particular project. I think that implies that they care about the reputation of themselves, they care about the reputation of the project, they care about the community, and they care about the deliverables, which is the ship with hat, the ship that Sheba decks. So I think that that's extremely bullish, and that's something to take in consideration. You cannot overlook that. That's a very significant thing. You know, and I wish the best for all other project holders. You know, the thing is, you know, at the end of the day, we're in competition with all the other projects, even Dog with Hat. We're in competition for liquidity. So that's something that, you know, the team probably feels a certain kind of way about. And, you know, truth be told, you know, I can understand their perspective and definitely empathize with the other people who decided to do their own venture. I empathize with both people. I think this is a total misunderstanding. Uh, but you know, I definitely understand the team's perspective. I think because in any other corporate environment, they would people would distance themselves from. You see that, like if there's a like with Boeing, Boeing's a perfect example. You know, airlines, all the airlines that have Boeing planes are literally right now as we speak trying to have a conversation with the Boeing executives. I think three higher ups at Boeing recently got the axe. They got separated from the company on the executive team. So that goes to show you when things go south and like you want to, let's say those are mods for the board who runs Boeing. You know, Bowen was like, "Hey, we can't have this." The you know the board, and they start axing people off their executive team. You know, immediately. So this the way the communities, the way the mods, the core teams running it, it is running like a business kind of. And there's no hard fields of business. These things happen. It is what it is. You know, they wish the best. You wish the best. You know, you move on, and who knows? I could see eventually maybe a partnership or something, hopefully somewhere down the line, but who knows? Who could speak to it? As of right now, there are no partnerships. It is complete separate entities, adventures, and all that stuff. But me being the optimist, I always think that hey, let's work it out, right? But can't, not gonna happen. And the team is you know, very bullish on that. That's extremely important in my mind. Like that's this is extremely important because I would say that this is the most important thing to happen to this project because it shows the conviction of the team into the project that they're willing to do that separation. And I think that's very important. You know, I think it's something that, you know, say like it's you know, the team is so committed to protect their brand and distance themselves from other coins that are unsanctioned from Ship with Hat team. This to me only implies more trust within the team, considering they have a vested interest in preserving their reputation, their brand. I think this is bullish. You know, like this is it. It explains why they've been so silent, man. And you know, so yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about that. I want to do cover the conviction portion, which is like, hey, uh, let's cover. when you see price action fall, and it went down pretty bad, let's not kid ourselves. When I go to CoinMarketCap, uh, and I look for shit with hat, yeah, it looks pretty bad, right? Um, 1 day average, we're trending up here, and now we're down here, right? And it looks pretty bad. But to me, I'm just gonna keep eating because I know one thing. Number one, we're not trending. We're not there's no calls being made. We're just flying out there with no assistance, no nothing. And those are called pump gimmicks, just for those who need to know. Like those are gimmicks. Calls and trending. Right now we're being tested. You know, that's how I look at it. It's like Jesus in the desert, right? We're being tested. We're out on the wilderness, completely isolated, all alone. There's no trend. There are no calls. The only thing that we have are influencers that come in, see if we're good, and that's it. If you think about why those influencers are interacting with our community, it is to build a viral grassroots movement, to get us rated, to get us out there and hype. We need to do that because that's what the SHIB original community did, and that's what you need to do. You have to be a very active community. It's not you're waiting on anybody. You'll make it happen. That's important. I'm not waiting on anybody. I'm making it happen. If I hunt Elon's tweets, and I was able to get the first, the within 2 minutes of an Elon tweet. And fresh tweets, slap the ship with hat, and try to get some attention to the community. That's where what we got to do. And I think it's important to raid. And it's important to and this shakeout is very important because those people who do not believe in the team, that do not believe in the Shiva decks, that do not believe in the mission, which is until this is completed, they need to get shit. They need to get moved out. And as soon as the price action falls, people start getting scared and they start dipping, right? There was also somebody that a big wallet was also dipping. But look, this big wallet dipped, right? Community bought it back, and then it dipped again. We bought it back and brought it back to a trend level. And then if you see all these little dips are different people. This is not one solid dip like in this instance. These are little dips. These are all the panickers, the cheats. Everybody's afraid. Now, in the relative of things, this means nothing to us because where we were, where we came from, where we were, where we came from. This means absolutely nothing to us. This is just a test. It's a shakeout. And, you know, they're gonna push it down as low as they can to make people afraid, and cheat their position, but don't cheat. So don't screw yourself out of a you know out of of an opportunity because you're afraid. The only thing There's nothing to be afraid of. If you have a conviction, there's nothing to be afraid of. And I'm gonna run through what I think when I get afraid. I'm For me to say that I'm not afraid would make me a dangerous, ignorant person. And I like to think that fear is important because it's part of humanity. Like it's a human element. So you need to have fear. Fear helps us, but it's what's logical fear. That's what I call it. And what I want to talk about that and just kind of expand why I'm so bullish and what are my convictions. The number one thing is I want actually before I go there, I want to talk about Lord Keck in the Telegram. Lord Keck was in our Telegram. Look, we had Lord Keck in our Telegram chilling there. The problem is every new person who joined the Telegram who would automatically at Lord Keck. Like we tell people like do not. There's a rules that says do not at the mods, and people would come in Telegram and at Lord Keck. So of course that dude's gonna leave. It's like yo, what the fuck? Why are you adding me in this? Like I'm here to support you guys. So he still supports us. I'm 100% sure of it. Excuse me. But however, you can't at people. It's just imagine getting at every single day. I would fucking leave. I would too. So definitely understand that. But yeah, Lord Keck definitely support us and help build us. So definitely all love to him wherever he is. And I also want to cover the convictions right now. So to go over a few things. Number one, you got listed on Bitmart on a sex early on. We have partnerships with Pal AI. Very, very bullish. We actually I want to pull it up here so it'll be easier for you guys to see. Uh, where is it? Oh, this is extremely bullish. This was something that I really want. I'm gonna put this as the cover of the meme. But this is the Donald J. Trump news TG. It has over 5,000, 5.8. I don't know how many, if that's a million or whatever, but views. If you look at this post, this was a post that happened on February 15th, where the Donald Trump official like news, I don't know if it's official, but the Donald J. Trump news, Donald T News, actually posted, I'm getting a Shiv with hat, Shiv with coin, I'm wearing Shiv with hat, Shiv with hat. And this was actually a real thing that actually happened that excuse me, that basically was extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. And this goes to show you the reach of the team, the market and reach of the team. That's extremely bullish. That's amazing, right? So these things are within the fingertips of the team. They choose not to utilize that right now because that's not part of the strategy at the moment. If you're building a grassroots movement, you don't need shock and awe. You need slow growth and consistency. And that's going out there rating, going out there telling people about what we're doing, what the vision is, what the catalyst of all catalysts, which is the ship with hat decks, just to go back and show everybody this is the catalyst of all catalysts. Um, these are the things that we're definitely working towards and working on as a community. So I want to grab this right here and go through the accomplishments. We're listed on stock twits, very big. We have NFTs out there, very big. Definitely get one if you don't have one. Not financial advice. Shivwood hat effect on Instagram, covered that already. That is something unique I've never seen any other team do. I've never seen any project have something onboarded to Meta to help the movement get more viral. That's a that right there confirms what I'm talking about. Like the first strategy is grassroots, and then that's a tool to help the grassroots movements get viral and spread the word. So we're like John the Baptist. We're going out there, we're spreading the word. That's what we have to do. Um, so SHIB swap announced in development. Definitely, that's been announced. There's wire diagrams that I just showed you constantly. I'm constantly showing you guys this, you know. Um, and then we have partnerships with Ave, definitely huge. Partnerships with Pal AI, definitely huge. Partnerships with GotBit hedge fund, definitely huge. Partnership with Genzo's Labs, definitely huge. Partnerships with Lovely Wallet, definitely huge. If you look at all these partnerships, right, this means that these companies have their reputation on the line for them to formulate a partnership with this particular project. It goes both ways, right? So for most people holding SHIB, they would look at this say, well, got bit, and then they have something negative to say. But it's the other way around. It's more negative for Gotbit to have a coin in their portfolio that's not doing well or suspicious, right? It would look bad for them more so than it would for SHIB. So the fact that they went through a whole process of onboarding and to get that stuff taken care of, that to me speaks more volume as to why it's like that's part of my conviction. Each one of these companies had to have some onboarding process, that some due diligence check, of some sort, And the fact that we've successfully partnered with them is extremely bullish, and this revigorate my convictions. That's how I look at it. Collaboration with Zbeck, that is definitely big. There was a picture going out with Zbeck putting us on like the cover, one of the cover of all their meme coin portfolio credit card thing, and we were there. That's extremely bullish. Um, Collaboration with social media influencers, we see them all the time. They pop into TGs, and Bruce from Bruce Porter, Paula, um, the lady, the Argentinian lady, I always forget her name, Flora. Um, you know, Base dev, strategic core marketing team, private community, and active community. Yep, this is correct. All this stuff is good. And then we recently got onboarded to Trust Wallet. That was the other one. That's a big one, right? Because in order for Trust Wallet to onboard us, what did they? I covered that in my third video. In order for Trust Wallet to onboard us, they went through a whole process. Extremely bullish. And then on top of that, we got an audit performed by New Tech, I believe it was, and they did an audit on our blockchain. So all these things, literally what happened, right? And all these things are the team have already accomplished. The real question now becomes, why would they throw all this away for what? It doesn't make any sense. So the moment you start looking at what they have accomplished and you start putting the perspective of the age of the coin, which is literally less than, I think it's about 2 months now, because it's the 31st, it's about 2 months. February 5th launched, and it's March 31st. It's 2 months. And for a 2 month old coin to accomplish so much, we have to sit back and say, well, is it logical to hold it up to such a high scrutiny? And that's a real legit question, because if you have a 2 month old coin, there's a lot of coins out there 2 months that doesn't have that growth, doesn't have that accomplishments in terms of partnerships and what they've built in terms of collaborations and other things listed on all these different things: StockTwits, Bitmart, Trust Wallet, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, all that stuff. So all that stuff requires paperwork. That's not an easy thing to do. Um, so and I also want to talk about, like, these are my convictions. This is what I look at. I look at the accomplishments of the team, the track record of the coin, and then that lets me know whether or not should I buy or continue, or what should I do, right? Like, should I continue on or don't? And this is what I have to do every week, because the price action often doesn't reflect on what I wanted to do. Because you know, if the price action was like dog with hat, there's no reason to make a video. There's no reason to have all these conversations, right? Because we already know what we're going to be doing. But we're not quite there yet. It's only been 2 months. A lot more to go. I try to make this video as short as possible. Unfortunately, ran over a little bit. Um, Definitely appreciate everybody who follows me. Definitely appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, and click the bell if you can. Um, if you guys think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Would love to get that feedback. But overall, I'm extremely bullish on this community. It's kind of sad what's happening in terms of the crypto drama, but that's how you know you're in a fucking amazing project. When you're seeing people creating fucking jackets and stuff like that, and you're seeing people making videos, you're seeing people contribute in some fashion with the community, and then you also have some crypto drama on the side. That to me that's a crypto project. That's how it normally is, right? You can go in any major crypto project, you will see some fuckery there. And we're no different, we're no exception, but it's extremely interesting to see the team come out and be so proactive and be like, hey, distance yourselves from this particular project immediately. That's extremely, extremely bullish. The happening is 20 days from now, which is literally 420, ironically. So definitely get ready. Everybody's excited. Crypto is booming. Just another reminder, be mindful of your wallets and the app permissions that you're signing into all these Web3 applications. Be mindful of that if you can. I'm going to go ahead and let it go for today. Just want to make this video just to kind of give everybody an update what's going on, what's happening. I added more SHIB to my bag. I am pretty bullish. I'm at 8 million. So I'm going to keep adding more. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, just letting you guys know where I stand and being transparent in my world. But this is not financial advice. I'm extremely bullish under one condition. This right here. This is the catalyst of all catalysts. Remember, folks, sexes are important to make the coin accessible. That's really all they're going to be used for. Um, the product marketing will come when this is being delivered. And most importantly, the most important thing, folks, is always remember that don't let other people swindle you out of your bag. Don't let other people swindle you out of anything because that's how crypto works. Think of it like this. You're standing in line. It's a long line or a long queue for those in the EU. And you're sitting there, you're waiting in line, you're standing there, been waiting there for 20 minutes. A gentleman walks up to you. He's like, hey, look, there's a line, another till or, checkout counter that's open at the other end of the store. If you like, I'll take your position, your position in line at this till, and you can walk away over there and check out. And you're like, yeah, that sounds like a deal. Well, how come you don't want to go? Well, I don't want to go because, my feet hurts or whatever. Okay, cool. That sounds great. The gentleman takes your position in line. You walk all the way over there to the other end of the store, only to find out that there is no checkout counter till there's nothing of the sort. You just got fudded out of your position because you didn't want to wait. You had uncertainty of this line. The line that the person was taking long to check out. Do not get flooded out. Do not get social engineered. Pay attention to what's going on. You know, try to get as many perspectives as you can. At the end of the day, it's perspective versus perception. And if you could figure it out and rationalize it in your own way and really calm your nerves, pay attention to your convictions. If you believe in this project, I could see you around. But if you don't, then I understand why you left. But definitely it's a pleasure. Please like, subscribe, comment, and ring the bell if you think this content is helpful in any way. Thanks, everybody. I will go ahead and let you guys go. Peace.